Hey guys, welcome to another day at the two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive conversion. Today we're going to take a NP231, and since we already have it out, we're going to do the slip yoke eliminator on it for the lift that we're going to do later. So today I'm going to walk you through how to take it apart, how to put it in, and put it back together, hopefully with no extra pieces.
Because we're good at that.
Yeah.
Better than factory.
Yeah.
Anywho.
We're going to use the we're using the Rough Country SYE kit. I'll get Matt to look it up and put a link in the bio or something. It's not a super hard process. Take your time, go slow. Rewatch the video 5 or 6 times.
Pause if you need to.
Yeah.
It pauses.
Yeah, pause. Build along with it. That's what I've always done.
Grab another adult beverage and move on.
Yep. So, that being said, the one thing I would suggest is have yours cleaner than this, but it's currently like 17 degrees outside, and I'm not pressure washing it. I'll just clean more as I go and make sure all my stuff's clean before I put it back together. But that being said, kick back, relax, and I'll start walking you through it. All right, guys, I got an assortment of tools. I'm sure I don't have them all. First thing we're going to do is take off our shifter linkage and get it out of the way. Okay. Oh, that's stuck in there forever.
Yeah, straight screwdriver. You sure can. Or inside.
Chill. One set of hands.
Let me see that.
Okay. Now that I got that off, I got to take the yoke off, and it is a 28 millimeter. I got a board there to try and hold it.
Oh yeah.
I think every nut is going to stick inside the whole way. Okay, so spin this around here where y'all can see. Next, we're going to remove this to take our speedometer gear and all that out. They are, from the feel of it, a 13. I think that's what that is. If I had all my tools in order. I was right. Again, if your stuff's clean, it comes apart a whole lot easier. There it goes. Now, if you're going to bigger wheels and tires, now is the time to change this gear out. Most of us are, but you can pick these up at O'Reilly's, AutoZone, wherever, online. Ooh.
Good thing it's coming apart, right?
Yes. All right, now we're going to pull the housing, nose cone, whatever you want to call it. They're 10 millimeters. I know there's another one.
There you go. Oh, there comes a fluid.
Yep. I got it. Evidently it ain't as empty as I thought it was.
I can grab that pan.
Bring it over here. Okay guys, I don't know where I left you at, but we had turned around. We had a leak because clearly I didn't get all the fluid out. Depending on the 231 you have, some of them have a cone that goes over them and it's bolted on. Some of them have said dust shield. This dust shield is a pain to get off. I'm not going to make you sit and watch me beat on it, but whatever it takes, get it off. If you don't have this, just take the cone off and you'll go to the next step. Okay, so once you get the
Dust shield.
wherever it went,
Junked it, scrap.
there is a beveled washer and then a snap ring. You need the, I don't know, flat style snap rings to get in here and get it. You also got to give yourself enough room to be able to see. All right, once you got that out, you can pull your seal. Okay, inside here, there is another set of snap rings. Okay, you gotta think with your left brain and your right brain.
You've got a brain.
I went and seen the wizard.
I asked for a sense of humor and it turns out he had one.
I don't need to lie. I'm trying to not electrocute myself.
If you didn't hear that, Matt's trying not to electrocute himself.
I think Matt's trying not to electrocute himself.
Okay.
Now, where we started.
Yeah. Once you have that snap ring out, you should be able to find yet another snap ring.
Are you serious?
I do not remember all these snap rings when I did my other one. So there's one more snap ring, at least. It takes the handy dandy ones.
No, I just meant they really didn't want this coming apart, did they?
No. They were all about.
They say these are good transfer cases, but
I mean, they got to be something. They don't want them. They do not want anyone to take things apart. Not even the service tech, clearly. I mean, I'm not a service tech by any means.
All right.
You keep saying all right, like I can just magically grab this thing. It does kind of what it wants, and we just are along for the ride.
Oh, there's like no lip on that thing.
No. And these things, they're a good set. Who are they? Performance Tool. But
Shows the wrong pick.
all right, when I open this, take your pick out. Take your pick out.
Okay, I got it.
I got it.
I think the pick helped.
All right.
All right.
Can we do it now? There it goes. Woohoo! Good golly, Miss Molly.
That was easy.
Yeah, that wasn't hard at all.
And we knocked no dirt down in it. It's fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, now we got it. Now
We got to separate it.
Okay.
All right, guys. So now, stay over here. We're going to stand this up in this pan and split the case. Oh, grinder's in the way.
It was. Okay.
Down in the pan. Okay. Me, I like to put all my stuff back together. That way I know what goes with what. All right, the rest of these, are a 15, which is right here. And then we're just gonna take them off.
Is that what this is? That front one?
No. So right here, on the side of the case, they have a relief
Okay.
for you to pry on it. I'm gonna just take a dead blow.
Ready to move on?
Nope. All right, now let's spin it. There we go. I did not. I was walking away. Sorry. It's this right here. All right, straight up and over. All right. Our tube. We can take a look at this magnet. It's got a little bit of stuff on it, but we need to get a shop towel and wipe that down. Okay, guys. So now, if you want to take a picture or something to remember how it goes back together, now's a good time. Otherwise, we're going to continue and move on. I'm going to pull it out just like so. Set that one off there. Take the chain, move it out of the way because we don't need it. All right. There is another one of them horrible clips on the back of this. So we're gonna find our snap ring pliers we buried over here, and we're gonna pull it off. All right, guys. Sorry about not showing you how to get that off. I kept trying, had to pause and use all my adult language that I try not to use on camera. Okay, so once that's done, this will slip off. Bingo, bango. That's done. Now, on some of these, I think it's 97 and newer, they have needle bearings in here. Those needle bearings have to come out in order to go on the new shaft. So I'm gonna get all of that together, or get the new stuff out here, and I'm gonna show it to you, and we're gonna start getting ready to go back together. All right, guys, also, at this time is a good time to check your bearings, make sure they're still good, and if not, to replace them. They're not hard to replace. They drive out, they drive in till they're flush. This here is the new shaft that we're going to be using. We'll put that down there in the mystery spot, along with that. And that. All right, so you can see the difference, I believe, but it's a good bit shorter. So out with the old, in with the new. This is going to slide on. Oh, like so. This one slides on like so. And then that snap ring you took off like 5 seconds ago, you get to fight and put back on.
Need a spare set of hands?
Maybe.
I can hold the shaft.
Let me see what I can do here first. All right, I'm gonna get this on because I got a feeling there's gonna be more adult language. All right, guys. So for the next part, now that we got that all hooked up, we're gonna put our chain back on where it goes. Maybe once I'm done fighting it here. There we go. All That one goes like that. This one goes in here like so. And then we just pick it up. Ooh. That one went in. That one goes in. All right. Now, we need to clean our mating surfaces and get ready for RTV. So we're gonna do that, and I ain't gonna make you watch. So I'll get that done, and then we'll come back and start finishing up. Also, while you're doing that, make sure you clean up your magnet and put it back in the hole it goes in, which is over here. So I'm gonna get that done, and then we'll get ready to put it back together. All right, guys, welcome to a new day. We had to stop because the O-ring for the transfer case fluid pump ninja vanished on me. So we had to order it online, got it off Amazon. I will get Matt to put the part number down in the description where we got it off Amazon. They're cheap. They're cheaper than O'Reilly's. O'Reilly's, they were like $1.99 a piece, but they're a specialty order, so it was $10 shipping. And we bought them for like $6.42 off Amazon, and got them like 4 days quicker in our situation. All right, guys, I got the cover sitting on here just to keep dirt and stuff out while we were gone. While I have it sitting here, I want to bring something up to you so you can deal with it as soon as you see fit. Your shift fork right here, this shift fork with the new housing that I've set down somewhere that I'll have to find. This cannot stick out more than an inch. So I measured mine. Mine actually happens to be under an inch, so I don't have to cut it. If you do have to cut it how you see fit. We normally use a grinder and a cutoff wheel and cut it, chamfer the edges, much like it is right now. Before you cut it, you can see how it looks. Just kind of do your best to make it look the same. And if you hear noise in the background, Rusty's over there changing steering components. I'm gonna wait to get this off so I don't get dirt and everything to clean up this surface, but we're gonna pop this back off. Now, I am gonna take, and before I put that in there, double check all my stuff. Make sure it's doing what it's supposed to. Everything's in place. Make sure my magnet is in place. I'm gonna dump a little bit of ATF on everything. To make sure that to make sure there's no dry running when it first starts. We're just gonna, just a little, it don't need a lot. Kind of like a dollop of daisy, a dab of do ya. Get a little bit down in there. There we go. All right, a little bit over here. Let it work its way down into them bearings. All right, that should be good. All right, I'm gonna finish cleaning up my case, get it prepped, and then I'll come back and show you how to put it on. All right, guys. So the next step we got, once we got this all cleaned off, is we need to run a bead of silicone around it. Now make sure you go around the outside of the bolt holes as well. Once you get it on there, you're gonna smear it. So just be aware. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, now all we gotta do is smear it flat. So. Okay. So I'm gonna let that kind of set up for a second while I get everything else together. Not a big deal. Got a little bit of trans fluid laying up here, so I'll just go ahead and run that O-ring in it. Take off this one we put on here to try and get it to work that didn't. Work that in. There it goes, it sits. And then just slide it into the case, the upper half of the case, just like this. So if you go ahead and put it together like this, it's not a big deal, but I should have waited because these fingers lay on the face of the case. So what I'm gonna do is just feed it up through. And then slide it in. Not a big deal. Double check I got everything in there. I'm pretty sure I do. No. Then you just tap it down. Give me a minute. I'm gonna finesse this a little and I'll come back and we'll go from there. Okay guys, I got it seated down there, down on there. Okay, now you want to double check to make sure that your feed tube that we had to put that O-ring in stayed inside the pump. All right, well, get you some light where you can see in there. You may have to pry on it just a shade. Luckily for me, mine stayed. I don't have to mess with it anymore. All right, so next we get to play with our favorite rings. I'm gonna just get a bunch of this set out here for me. Okay, should be one of these right here. You could reuse your old ones, you don't have to, but they sent us new ones. And that one is not it, it's too big. So I'm gonna say it's this one. That seems to be the right size. All right, I got it close enough. I'm going to take a screwdriver in my hand and I'm going to just tap her on down. There it is. Oh. We have our Spedo Gear and then another one of those clips. It helps if you don't shake like a leaf on a tree in the middle of an E5 tornado, but you know. There it goes. Take our screwdriver, give it a little tap, make sure it sits in there. Can't come off. Good to go. All right. So now we just need to double check and prep our surface here while we're thinking about it, because I forgot to do it while it was off and now I get to be extra cautious. So let me get that cleaned up and we'll get back to it. Okay guys, so the next thing we need to do is find some thread lock. I have blue and I have orange. I'm going to use the blue. I don't know why I shook the orange. And we're going to put these in and tighten them down in a crisscross pattern, much like you do a wheel or something else of that nature. I think these are torqued at 45, maybe 50, I can't remember. I'll have to look. So definitely look in your manual. Do not just take my word for it. Thread locker on them. On all of them, tighten them in a crisscross pattern. 45 to 50 foot-pound. Again, double check your specs. So I'll get that done. I ain't gonna make you watch me do bolts, and we'll move on to the next part. All right, guys. So, like I said, I got lucky. I don't have to shave my shifter rod down. So I'm ready for this. First thing I'm gonna do is test fit it, just to double check. It's gonna go. There it goes. We're gonna take a little more ATF, pour on all this. Just that way nothing's dry. Get that bearing surface lubed up a little bit. And then we're back to putting our TV on. More fun. Just remember, you know, you don't want so much you're going to get it down into everything. I am going to put mine on here versus there and just be real careful with it. And we'll get her put on. All right, guys. So back to putting in bolts again. Make sure I got the right size, and I do. Get my thread locker handy, and we're going to put these in. Again, tighten in a crisscross pattern, because, well, seems like almost everything automotive is a crisscross pattern. All right, and these are 20 foot-pound. There we go. If this worktop was about 3 inches shorter, it'd be great. And again, I'm just running them down till I see them touch. And then I'll come back and start torquing them. I'm gonna give them the good old 3-finger torque. That's good. All right. All right, I gotta get some rags because the next part's a little messy. All right, guys, so before we mess with that, we're gonna put in this little plug. It goes right here. And now on some models, they had a vacuum actuated four-wheel drive shifting mechanism. If you have that, you'll need to put that back in. If not, it's just this little plug here that I evidently don't have the right size for, so I'll have to hunt that down here in a minute. After that, we have, this is your speedometer. This little piece right here, you can buy different sized ones depending on the size of tires you're running, so that your speedometer is correct. This is going to predominantly be a trail rig with some occasional driving on the street, so he's going to figure out using a cell phone, using GPS, how far off his speedometer is, or just uses GPS all the time for a speedometer, so we're not really worried about it. So shove that back in there. This goes, oh, I got the ATF so I could lube it and forgot to lube it. So we're going to lube the O-ring just so it goes in a little easier. You know, if you can make life a little easier, why not? So yeah, we're just going to smear some on there. I'm sure you all know this. If you're willing to dig this far into a project, I'm sure you know how to lube an O-ring. So slide this bad mamma jamma in there. Once you get this on there, in there, your clip will hold it down. In the correct grooves. And then tighten your bolt down. But this is gonna fight me, so I'm gonna do that off camera. Okay guys, so the next thing we need to do is put our yokes on. So the way we're gonna do that is take some RTV, shoot it inside here. And then just kind of smear it around on the threads. Just to help seal it up a little bit more. Then we're going to take a little bit of lube and smear around the outside edge of this to help it go in and get around that seal without tearing it. All right. Perfect. Next, we have our rubber seal that goes in. I got a poking device somewhere laying around here. Unless I set the transfer case on it. That's okay, I'll find it later. I got a big poking device, also known as a screwdriver. We're gonna push that back down in there. Looks good. Hunt down our brand new nut. And guess what? We're gonna put our TV on that too. Even it out a little bit. Sure, that looks good. Now, before you go cranking on this and trying to tighten it down to that 150 foot-pound torque spec, you need to make sure you let all your other RTV, that it's been drying for at least an hour. So, once it's done that, you can go ahead and torque it down. And reinstall. Now, the way we're going to do this is we're going to put it on the floor, and I'm going to have Rusty stand on it because I don't have any place to strap it down or anything like that to get my torque. You can also put it back in to the Jeep if you have a lift, or you can get it up high enough on jack stands and then torque them in there as well. The other yoke goes on the same way. RTV inside, lube the outside, your little washer, and then RTV on the nut. It also torques to 150. I'm not going to make you watch that. There is no step increments for the torque. It is just set it to 150 and
do your best to get it there.
Pull for all you're worth.
Yeah.
So we'll get that done. We'll get it reinstalled. If you took it out, you should know how to put it back in. And we'll show you when it's all back underneath the Jeep. All right, y'all. Let me get you over here. I'm gonna get my lovely assistant, Rusty, to put a foot on here, a foot on this 2x4 to hold the yoke. Oh. Woo! And then I'm going to attempt to get this to that 150 without throwing him off there. All right, here we go. It's gonna slip. Yep, it's slipping.
It's slipping. Better than we were. Am I still in line? Yeah.
There it is.
It's that easy. It's that
It ain't
easy.
hard at all. All right, now the other one is gonna be painful, but this one's really hard to do inside the vehicle.
I'm going to try and do that one under the vehicle. You
Yeah.
lock it in.
That one, we're gonna let Rusty put this transfer case in, and then we'll crawl under there and do it when it's attached to the transmission, and we can lock everything in where it goes. So again, this time for real, I'll show you when it's all done. All right, guys, as you can see, she is back up in there and connected. We've attached the Rough Country 4 to 6 inch lift rear drive shaft. We were able to, as you will be able to reuse the front drive shaft. And see if I can keep my hand out of it. This plug we're going to take out and put our, I believe it's 2 quarts of automatic transmission fluid in there for it to lube it up, and then he will be good to go. Okay, guys, That's it. We did the rough country slip yoke eliminator for the NP231. I hope the video was informative and shows you that it's not that hard to do. Just take your time. This is my second one I've done. I hope this video helps you, again, feel like you can do it. It's really not that hard. I've got at least 2 more to do with the Jeeps that Matt and I have to go. Once we figure out the size of lifts and whatnot we're doing on that. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. And we will see you guys next week with something else Jeep related, I'm sure. Bye, guys.